Hey everyone, welcome to the Collector Chatter podcast. I'm your host Miguel here with my co-host Charlie. And in today's episode, we're going to go over some news and talk about the latest Funko news. So in this section of the episode, we're going to talk about the news that happened within the last week. I wanted to kick off the news with some great news, which is kind of like a personal news of us. My man, Charlie, you are a dad to another son.
Yes, I am. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah, congrats, man.
Thank you. Yeah. Born on April 20th, and it's just been a whirlwind since there. Been home for a few days. And so, yeah, like I have almost 3-year-old. So having that now with a newborn baby, it's a whole new challenge in itself, but it's awesome. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, of course, man. And of course, if you guys, listen to us or watch us, throughout the week, you notice we took another week off. And of course, that was, because Charlie did have to go through that. So now he's back and we're back again for you guys. And I'm glad that, we have him here with you. I couldn't do the podcast by myself. If anything ever happens, we kind of ride it out together. So we're back with some news. And in today's episode, we wanted to start off with something that kind of happened about a week ago, which was officially announced. And there was orders out there. And, we are Funko Soda lovers. And it was a pretty big Funko Soda drop. So we've been getting these bigger waves, like anywhere from 6 to 8 different sodas, etc. This one was about 8. Some of the ones that right off the bat, we had Morticia Adams. So of course, we had recently gotten an Addams Family Pop 4. So now we're getting more of these, which is cool because it's got like that black and gray scale look to it, which is awesome. Makes it look more like the classic, movies and shows and stuff. So that's a really cool one. We also are expanding the what's the name of the Teen Titans line, which is the cartoon version. And now we're having Robin, which we kind of figured that was going to happen once after Beast Boy. We're like, all right, maybe they'll continue this. And then I think Cyborg came out.
So they're going to finish that out.
Yeah. So, which I like that they're doing that because in the past, Funko has started soda lines and not really finished them. And now it looks like they're kind of consistently at least giving us one. So,
which I like.
I'm happy about that. Yeah, for sure. So that's definitely one of the cool ones I like. As a DC fan, Black Adam is another one that is being announced. So that's a cool one. It's kind of like the comic accurate looking one, of course, because we haven't gotten the movie yet that we're still, been waiting for with
it is, but weirdly, yeah, Dwayne Johnson kind of looks like him. So yeah, I feel like you can go either way with what you want to say this one. I mean, the current pop they make now, like I feel like that's exactly what the movie version is going to look like.
Yeah, it is so true. When you think of like was it just perfect casting with The Rock or like,
Yeah, I think it is perfect casting. So yeah, that's a cool soda. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, that was definitely a good one. We also got a pretty cool Wreck-It Ralph. We got Ralph, which is awesome that they're kind of expanding out to these other like movies as well for Disney and stuff. So that one's a cool one. I know, obviously, as a Star Wars fan, I'm sure you're a fan of the Jawa one.
That looks awesome.
I think that's cool. The Star Wars line is getting it's really ramping up.
Yes. I feel like we're going to get a Star Wars one like every new soda drop. Like we don't always get something from every property. Sometimes they're completely random, but this I feel like Star Wars, we've said this in the past, but we're just going to keep going full steam ahead.
Yeah, we were saying it like when we talked about the initial thing is that like they're so behind that now they have plenty of characters to make and they're playing catch up. So now they're like just going to spit out one at us every time. And like, if you are a completionist and let's say you're just getting into sodas and it's because you were a Star Wars fan, like good luck. Cause now at least you're getting them like constantly. So it's going to be tough to keep up with them for sure. We also had Squiddly Diddly, which I've heard the name, I don't know specifically where that's like from.
I don't want to butcher it, but I think it's another Hanna-Barbera character.
Okay, which I figured that's what it was. I know, and we already talked about how Funko and all the people that come up with these, they love the Hanna-Barbera characters, the really old cartoons, and soda specifically, they really go after them. I think more than even the pops. Like some of these,
I agree.
Characters don't even exist in pops.
They're like soda staples. Weirdly enough, I don't collect them, but there is a ton of them, and this is a good opportunity to come with like obscure characters within that brand.
Yeah, which is cool. So like it looks pretty cool. Obviously, if you know the the cartoon or you know about it, then it's a good one to add. And then we had 2 versions of Frodo Baggins. So we spoke about I think we kind of talked about how this was potentially a rumor that, we were going to
Yeah,
see some Lord of the Rings stuff. And now we actually got, which I think looked amazing, the Frodo soda. We got the glam shot of that.
dude, these are
And then
awesome.
there's a Funko Shop exclusive, which is him like invisible, like with invisible
Yeah, which I
cloak, I
don't.
think he wears, right?
Yeah, with the
But
cloak.
it's
With
not, there's no chase, I don't think. I believe
No, it
it's
makes no
only just an
sense.
exclusive.
So yeah, I think this is weird though. I really want to talk about this one. I'm pumped. I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan.
Hmm.
So it's clearly like when he puts on the ring and he becomes invisible. I don't understand why that's not just the chase of the normal one that we're
Yeah.
then going to get. I mean, we've gotten some in the past with like the cereal icons where we get just the one in the can and it's Funko Shop exclusive. I just think this is more the merrier for me. I'm going to get them both, but
Yeah.
like, do you agree? Like, I don't, it's just totally random to have made this a Funko Shop exclusive and had like three. It's almost they couldn't decide which one to get
Yeah.
rid of.
What do you know the chase like of the normal one
Yeah,
exactly what
so
it
the
is?
normal one is him with his like hood, like cloak on, which is the
Okay.
exact same mold of the one where he's invisible when he
Okay.
puts on like the ring. And then the common one is him just without the hood on.
Okay. So it's kind of lazy in the sense of like what they
It's
actually went with. But yeah, I agree. I don't mind, like I've said this in the past. I don't mind when they do a soda that's a very limited number that doesn't have a chase. Like I'm okay with that. Like I
agreed.
have the Rocketeer. The Rocketeer doesn't have a chase. It was exclusive. It was a con exclusive, even. So, like, cool, makes sense. Like, you don't need to have the chase. But I agree with you that if they're gonna come, it should. Oh, now the Rocketeer is the only one that exists. Like, they don't have another version of the Rocketeer. That's
Exactly.
where I think, like, yeah, I agree with you. Where like they knew they were probably gonna do the Frodo, um, make that the chase, or don't have the common Frodo, just make the Funko Shop exclusive the one that they exist. So yeah, it's kind of like a cash grab for them, I guess, because now you're gonna get two different ones, and I don't know. It is. I could totally see that being the chase and not being just the exclusive, but I don't even know if like how it's gonna look either. Like I don't know if I want to go after that or just try to get the regular one and try to see if I
Yeah.
get the common or the chase of
It
that one. So
legitimately just, yeah, looks like a translucent, which I don't know if they make any sodas this way. Do you know, like, is there any just that are completely
uh
clear?
only like that blue color, like what the
Yes.
Doctor Strange one's gonna be coming out with, the Ariel, like they've
Exactly.
made at
So that's
least
exactly what this
like
looks like,
that.
but it's white.
Like the even one of the OG ones that I have is the penguin. Oh my god, what's his name? Chili Willy. The
Oh, yep.
chase of that, he's like frosted blue. So like I feel like this might be more of a clear than blue, if
Yes, it's
based off of kind of like the way it looks, the picture.
yes, it's
So
clear.
in that case, maybe it will be the first ever one because I don't think they make any like that. If you guys know, let us know. Comment down below if like we're missing it. But I mean, I definitely have a lot of sodas. I'm trying to think. I don't think they make like a clear version. So it would be cool if it's really like a clear,
It's cool too. And I'm actually
vinyl.
like looking at the like image now that Funko shared. I mean, even the can, like it says
Yeah, the
invisible
can is
Frodo
cool too.
Baggins. Like it's
Yeah.
not just a random variant. So that is cool. It's just
Yeah,
yeah,
they just made a whole different character. They just happen to be the same time that they're dropping the first version. I'm assuming, although it may drop later because, of course, it's the Funko Shop exclusive version. So I guess we'll see.
yeah.
But yeah, those were some of the soda news drops. I was like the big, well, some of the sodas that were announced. We did have other soda news
Yes,
as
we did.
well,
The
which
Scooby Doo
yeah,
cooler six pack, which is awesome. And I'm happy we both were able to pick them up, but
yep,
that sold out ridiculously fast. I think
super fast.
I, it's so funny because I totally underestimated the popularity, I guess, of Scooby Doo between the NF. Like, we'll never know what the NFTs was at the FOMO and Scooby Doo. And now, of course, we'll talk about what the next drop's going to be later. That's going to be
Hmm.
super popular too. So we'll never really know. But the fact that this soda sold out so quick, like, I knew it would sell out quickly. The Turtles one did, but I think it was like
Yeah.
3 minutes.
Yeah, I was like under 3 minutes or right
Yeah,
around. And I was surprised because I I feel like I cashed out right around that range and I got on right away.
me
And
too.
I had like a little bit of a hiccup and I had to go back and then it updated and it was kind of just loading. And if you guys didn't know, this was one of those ones where it dropped on a site, you were able to go on, check out, but then it threw you into the checkout queue. So
Yes.
then you're like sitting there with your like, you know, actual cart to see like this is available, and you're just hoping that it doesn't say not available, and then it would kick you into the thing. And I mean, I'm so happy with shop pay. Like the process of having shop pay,
Yes.
which saves all your stuff, is amazing
Boom.
that Funko partners up with them and uses them, because you can have any multiple cards on there, and like all you do is just select, you know, the one you want to use, and you cash out so quick. So like I've talked about this in the past. I had a
Yep.
cart. I don't know if this helps with checking out, but I always try to have a cart open, usually because of shipping. Now, granted, this thing's
Didn't
$100 cooler
matter.
because you're getting 6 sodas in a cooler, so you're going to get free shipping anyways. But I feel like that's helped me check out faster when the fact that I'm already signed in with a cart. So yeah, the sodas look amazing. I think once we saw this, we saw the rumor or the news that we spoke about in our last episode was the three that we saw right away, which was like Scooby, I think the one of the ghosts,
Yeah.
and then the
Yeah.
Phantom one. I think it was them. It was like three random ones. But we were like, oh, that's cool. Funko Shop's going to drop these three sodas, kind of like they did
Yes.
with the cereal Adicons. And then like a day or so later, we see that it's part of a 6-pack and it's doing the cooler. Now, one, I think it was perfect. The color scheme and everything is amazing. It's like
It
the
looks
van,
awesome.
like it looks so cool. It's like that cool psychedelic colors. We're finally getting Shaggy. We're getting Scooby. We're getting the big ones, and then we're getting a couple more of those, like, you know, villainous people. So that's cool that we're getting that pack. This line is getting bigger. I love that they dropped it this way. I think it's super cool. Personally, I like this set better than the Ninja Turtles. Not that I think I like the Ninja Turtles, but I mean, we already had Ninja Turtles, so
Yep.
it's kind of like a duplicate. Blacklight, we already kind of know how we feel about Blacklight. So this being its own original, you're getting completely different chases. Some of them look a little cooler than other ones, but at least you're getting that mix. I thought it was a great job by Funko doing this. I think they're going to do more of this. But to your question about the selling out specifically, I still feel like it's gonna. I don't know. I think we can't give an answer one way or the other, because this is the thing. The NFT, so the NFT dropped and it sold out super fast, right? And we were like,
Yep.
all right, Scooby's popular, it's cool, but it just happened to be a perfect mix because the FOMO of people seeing the physical NFTs definitely, you know, was part of it. Now the cooler,
The FOMO
you
missing
got
out on
you got
that.
to think of the people that missed out on the first cooler. So now, yes, okay, it's Scooby Doo. Okay, maybe that's part of why it's popular, but it has to be a mix. It's got to be that same FOMO thing. And I feel like if we got a completely different like type of show or cartoon that we haven't really gotten in a while, and this happened, then we could be like, all right, it's literally the FOMO, and it's because it's a cooler pack that everyone likes. But I think Scooby helped it. I think they just knocked it out of the park with like what they did with the sodas, even. So
Everything's
it's like
amazing. The
kind of a
chases are good. One funny thing that I want to bring up is, so for the Scooby NFTs, one of the redeemables is a soda. And a lot of the Funko like NFT community like has hated on the sodas. So we had
yeah.
the Freddy one from the Halloween, and now the Scooby-Doo was the second one. That one from being the least desired, lowest price within the series for redeemables, it is now skyrocketed, and the only one that's worth more right now is the Grail, because now people are like, if I want to have all the Scooby-Doo sodas, I need this soda. It's just like,
Oh my god,
it's funny.
that's
And it's,
crazy. I wonder
yeah,
if even like the old like werewolf, which was the first like
I'm sure
Scooby
they're going to. I mean,
character.
quite frankly, I don't have that one, and I like now
Yeah,
want
I
it.
have a comment of that,
Yeah.
but I mean, that's like that was a cool one. So yeah, that's interesting. I mean, keep a lookout. There's FOMO is real, man. I mean, it definitely happens with this, whether it's that or just people, you know, feeling left out and wanting to jump on something before it gets super popular. But luckily, like Charlie said, we were able to grab a case each. We didn't, you know, go
Yep.
too crazy. I know, you know, Charlie got lucky last time ordering one, and they actually sent him two Ninja Turtle cases. So maybe they'll send me two this time. We'll see. But I'm still waiting for mine, and like I don't even know when it's coming. Like the shipping thing still doesn't even give me a date. So
Mine
I'm like,
too. And like some people already
I've seen people
have
getting
them.
it. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm just hoping we don't get screwed over. But yeah, I can't wait to get that. We'll open that up for sure on the channel and check it out. I've been opening a lot of soda, so I'm excited to get that cooler. But yeah, that was for sure like something that was very exciting, and I'm very excited to see what the next one's going to be, because they're clearly doing this. They obviously have that part. They do Loungefly bags already, so these are Loungefly coolers. But yeah, I just can't wait to see what else they're going to do. I think honestly though, this was a perfect
I agree.
follow up to the Ninja Turtles. I think actually, like I said, I think this was even a better set overall. Like if this was the very first time they did it and it was this set, I would have been like, wow, that was amazing. So makes sense either way. But that was a cool one. We did have a few pretty big like lines that were dropped, some new lines because we have new movies, both in the animated world and in the live action. And the first one's going to be the animated one I want to talk about, which was the Lightyear Pops, which,
Yeah.
we're big fans of Disney, Pixar, we're big fans of Toy Story. And now we're getting the Lightyear movie, which is basically Buzz. It's not necessarily have to do with Toy Story, but it's that character that they kind of made into like a real life,
Yeah, well, it's funny. The
person.
not to go off on the movie, but the director actually recently just came out and was like, "This movie is essentially the movie Andy watches. It's like his Star Wars. So it's like the
Okay.
toy,
Yeah.
like
In that
so
world, it's
in
going to
that
be kind of
world.
like,
So
yeah.
like the toy he does have is based off of him seeing this movie, which is,
Yeah.
I think this movie is like a brilliant. This is creativity at its finest, in my opinion, and I think the pops look, they look pretty cool. They have a few of Buzz because he's wearing different types of outfits, and we actually
Mm-hmm.
didn't get one announced, which I know they'll make, of him wearing his iconic one, because
Yeah.
that's
With
not part of the
the,
first wave.
yeah.
And there's a cool glow in the dark one, Amazon exclusive. I'm excited for this line. I definitely am going to pick up some of them.
Yeah, it's super cool. It's definitely like it seems like it'll be a pretty popular line. I think they like you said, there's only been a couple that were announced with the line. I think it was like him, a few different versions. There was like a cat, I think, or something that's or a
Yeah,
dog or
cat,
something
which
that's
is
in, yeah,
Taika
the cat.
Waititi is the voice of that
Oh, he's
character.
voicing it. Awesome. That's even cooler. So it's definitely cool. The movie should be awesome. I'm excited for it. I remember seeing like the little sneak peek when it first came out. I was like, wow, this seems like brilliant. And like you said, it's actually kind of funny because I'm surprised they haven't already kind of tried to do this with some of their like
Yeah,
animated movies, especially the ones that have so many characters in such a big world, where they kind of it's almost like you're looking at it from like what's the saying, like breaking the fourth wall or whatever.
yeah,
Like
that's exactly
it's
what it
essentially
is.
like what they're
Yeah,
doing, and it's like really cool. So like I'm sure we'll get something because Pixar does this all the time. I'm sure we'll get something, some Easter egg in there that ties us back to Toy
exactly.
Story, I'm sure, in some way. But definitely super cool, excited for the line. It's something that like I'll have to see and wait. I'm a little like not jumping all over all these big pop lines because I know there's just so many of them, and right now
Yeah.
room is not something that I have. So I'm definitely waiting out from, but for sure, awesome. If you guys are fans of it, let us know if there's something you're gonna pick up. If you're excited for the movie, I definitely am excited for the movie. I can't wait to see when that comes on, just kind of see how it goes. But that was definitely one. And then we had something that we've been very excited for in terms of movies, because we're obviously huge movie fans, big Marvel fans, and we finally got the Thor Love and Thunder trailer, which was the hot topic on sense of like people were talking about in the
Where
community in
is it?
general, like where is this? Yeah, the movie's coming out in like a month and whatever. Like where is this trailer? And I thought it was weird because I was like, I get it, like if they push it back, but like are they pushing it because there's leaks and there are not leaks? Is there like things that they're gonna
Issues. Yeah.
spoil? Like yeah, like is there problems with it? Like what is going on? And I mean, we got the trailer. I love the trailer, but now we got Pops and Funko. Clearly, we've talked about this
Oof.
before, already has these things made. They already know what's going on. They honestly, there's got to be someone in Funko where they're making these concepts that knows every spoiler there is because these
Yes,
people
there is.
know exactly what's happening because someone's clearly at least what they look like. Let's put it that way because they're giving them obviously like
Yes.
a glam shot. I'm
I
sure I'm like
mean, and
make this
Funko
into what
only
it can be.
keeps the pops. Like, it's funny, like back in the day, everyone knows the OGs, like they're really basic. The detail on the new ones are so crazy good that like
Mm-hmm.
that the detail is spoilers. I mean, these are the characters. Like you still know it's a pop, obviously, but it's not the same. So that is a pretty cool job.
Yeah, and it was good for Funko to really hold this under wraps because we did get a leak of some of the Marvel Legend toys that dropped
Yep.
before the trailer. So that was kind of like a big deal because everyone was like, well, this is what, Gore's going to look like. This is what Thor's different outfit's going to look like and like the different people because the Marvel Legends ones came out, but Funko was pretty under wraps. And we know as Funko fans and Marvel fans that when there's a Marvel movie or a show coming out, Funko's all over it nowadays, and they're gonna spit out every character possible. So they dropped a line, pretty pretty big line, I would say. It's
It's a
essentially like we like to say, I like to say it, they're trailer pops because they do
they
drop
are.
literally whoever's in the trailer.
The one thing they did in this line that they haven't done, like I think it's gone, it's even worse than what they did with the Batman with having the 4-pack and then the singles. There are the single pops of Jane and Thor. Then there's a 2-pack of just them. Then there is a 4-pack that adds 2 other pops. So you can get that
Yeah.
same 2 pops in 3 different versions. That's crazy. I
Yeah,
like,
it's absurd.
we've talked before about like, do you like 2-packs, 4-packs? I'm assuming the community slash like sales are telling them people like them,
Yeah.
because I don't, do you agree with that? I mean, it's
No, I
interesting
agree.
that
And
they're
I
making
feel
them.
like there's no way they're making them thinking that like one person's gonna buy every one.
Yeah.
They make them knowing that somebody's gonna buy one of them. And like whether you're a single pop collector, you're gonna buy those ones. Whether you're a multi-pack collector, you're gonna buy the 2-packs because you like getting 2-packs, or you're gonna get the 4-pack. Like, because I would say, like, okay, if I'm gonna get the 4-pack, I'm not gonna get the 4 individual pops. Are there people who out there and are crazy and get them all? Yeah, maybe. But Funko clearly knows that like individual SKUs are selling regardless. And it's kind of nuts, especially like when we get a 2-pack or a 4-pack and then individual. But when we get individuals, a 2-pack and a 4-pack, yeah, that's like that's too much. Like
Yeah. I
I
just
don't
don't
know.
like
That's
that
just
they do
absurd.
it. Like, I don't even want that option. Like, I'd
No,
rather just be
exactly.
one or the other. Like,
Yeah.
I'm still like, which one do I like wanting it? Because I know I want them. But then it's funny. They're also taking advantage of it. Like, I know the 2-pack, they're slapping that Target sticker on there.
Yeah, of course.
So
They
it's
make this exclusive
exclusive. Yeah.
because it's the only one that's going to carry the multi-pack. And it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's ridiculous. I mean, the pops are cool. We do get the gore pop, which is
Yeah.
some of we didn't see in the trailer, but we
No.
know that these toys exist, and that's someone I'm kind of excited to see what that's gonna look like in the live action. Like, how are they gonna do?
Yep. I
How is
agree.
Christian Bale gonna look? That's like the big topic right now. But just seeing Thor and his new, armor and his whole like get up, seeing
I
Jane,
would,
seeing like just seeing like
they're
what they're kind of
awesome.
looking like is pretty cool. Translating over to which Marvel does a great job with Funko with getting these details. So
I was just a little upset there wasn't a Thor, what they're calling Ravenger, where he's kind of wearing like his t-shirt, like
yeah, which
vest. Like,
there's got to be one because
there's
they,
got to
like I
be
said, they
coming.
make that toy that was one of the Marvel
Exactly.
Legends that was
But I
leaked.
think that I mean, I don't know this, but based
Maybe
off
it's
of
an
what I'm thinking,
exclusive or
I
something.
think that comes in the movie first. Um, just based off of like, he's with the last you see Thor, he's with the Guardians. I think that's
Yeah,
his look
which is
with
how
the
it ends.
Guardians,
Yeah,
which there are no Guardians of the Galaxy pops, those characters either. I feel like they're gonna come. Like, moral of the story I'm getting at is this line already is huge. I think it's gonna be even bigger because there's a
yeah.
lot missing.
It's gonna be. I'm sure it'll be up there with like maybe not as big as like you know the Doctor Strange one because there's so much going on. And yet again, that line's clearly not complete because there's
Yeah.
obviously they're holding off a lot on that one. But yeah, it's just another Marvel line that these Marvel lines get wild. I mean, they do a great job of them, but like if you're a hardcore fan, like it's hard to really collect a lot
It
of these and
is.
complete them. But that was something that definitely, it was cool. It was expected that we were gonna get them. I'm not gonna lie though, like I was shocked that it was the minute the trailer dropped, hour
Boom.
later we're seeing these drops and it's
It's like they've been
official.
waiting
It's not
for it.
leaks or anything. It was like Funko was like, here's the new Thor line, and we were like, geez, the movie. Like if you didn't watch the trailer yet because you just happen to not be on YouTube or see a link on Instagram, but you happen to be following original Funko and you see them dropping,
Yeah,
that would have been your reveal right there
I
because
agree.
it was so fast. So yeah, that was an interesting one for sure. Couple just one-off pops that like I got pretty excited about. The Entertainment Earth Homer in the hedges, I think
It's
was
amazing.
brilliant.
Yes, I agree.
This is where I think Funko like knocks it out of the park when they do things like this. Like I thought the same thing with This Is Fine Dog, like when they came out with that and him sitting down in the fire. Like these memes and these gifs and these like things that we like are so accustomed to seeing because of social media and us posting things and things. Like to see them translate over into like a toy figure vinyl, pop is cool. And this one like is used so much. Like we use it in a
I,
group chat that I'm in like all the time because
I
of
agree.
different things and him just fading in.
I know it.
Sports use it all the time with like,
Yes,
like
it's great.
teams going in and coming out. It's amazing. So awesome job by them. I actually, a good friend of mine, Phil, which you actually, said that this would be like a perfect like bookend, like having like a nice bookshelf with like some cool
It
books and
is. It
having
totally
it be a
is.
bookend is like brilliant. So like it's definitely a good a good pop. I thought it was it's Entertainment Earth, which
Of
we always
course, yeah.
feel about that, but definitely a cool one for sure. I
It's
personally
funny
thought.
though. Entertainment Earth is finally starting to give free shipping if you spend $35 or more on
Oh,
anything.
nice. Okay, I didn't
It's
know that
interesting.
because their shipping was wild.
Yeah, it's brand new, and I don't like. I wonder if they
Good.
noticed people were complaining about. I'm like happy, so it makes Entertainment Earth not as like bad anymore.
Yeah, I'm still waiting. To talking about Entertainment Earth, I actually because I did pre-order the Ariel soda, which
Yeah, I
was
don't have
exclusive
that
to
yet.
them. Yeah, I'm waiting for that, and I've seen people getting it, and I'm like, I check, and it still says like processing what was going on. So like, it's supposed to be this month. Like that was what they say estimated is April. So wondering where they are because I did order some of those because obviously I wanted to get them, and I actually got to send one of those. So that'll be I'm excited for those to finally come in. We also had a box lunch exclusive pop, which was cool. Earth Day was just recently, just recently
Yep.
passed. They dropped Gandalf the White, which we spoke about Lord of the Rings kind of, when sodas and pops and like how they're now coming out with some more of them. So it was cool to see the Gandalf pop. Definitely cool. Does it glow in the dark?
It glows in the dark.
Right?
I
Yeah.
actually
Okay.
I ordered this. I think it's fire. I also love the way the box looks. They always do like a box for Earth Day that I think is made out of like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
recyclable materials, and it suits like the Middle Earth look.
Yeah.
I think it's a really cool pop.
Yeah, it was a cool one. We had talked about some of the Earth Day pops that were going to be coming out. Some of them look pretty cool. I think this one was probably one of the better ones.
It
So, like
was.
you said,
Yeah,
like, yeah,
Walmart like released their Earth Day pops like weeks ago. It's weird
yeah,
where
which
like
was a
box
little
lunch
odd.
waited for Earth Day, which I thought was cool. And
Yeah,
then
which made more sense.
another one that I wanted to mention, which is a bigger line, was the new Jurassic Park Dominion pops.
Hmm.
Um, Jurassic Park line traditionally has never been that big, and even when I feel like the Jurassic World came out, pops weren't really making these tons for these movies, and then when the last one came out, they made a few, but like this line reminds me of a Marvel line. I was surprised to see that. I don't know if you agree, but like there's a lot of pops they
Yeah,
announced. There's a like they normally make the main dinosaur, like they've made Blue and they've made like a T-Rex. This has, I feel like it's almost got every major dinosaur we're going to see in this movie.
yeah, which I thought was interesting. Like we saw, yeah, like four different dinosaurs that were like,
Yeah.
and even I think Blue twice, like
Yeah. Blue
two
Twice. There's
different
a
like
Funko
versions.
shop exclusive. There's a specialty shop
Yeah,
one there. I mean, there's Walmart
I'm
exclusive.
sure
We
we'll
got
get some 10
everything.
inch ones because we got
They
those from the
announced two
last
10
wave.
inches.
Yeah,
I'm excited for the OG characters to get some pops
it's
for this
it
movie.
definitely must sell. It must sell, and it's getting pretty popular because I feel like you said, more recently with the last movie, for instance, and then going into this one, we're getting like bigger and bigger waves, but they're also like going back to some of the older ones and kind of still releasing stuff that's related to Jurassic Park, the franchise
Yes.
in general. So like now we're kind of being like really inundated with a lot of dinosaur stuff, and it's like we're getting a bunch of them, and I'm sure like maybe there's an anniversary attached to some of that reasoning to some of them, but like we're getting more of these. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's like it's a pretty big franchise. It's surprisingly, it's one of those franchises that I feel like I underestimated like how big it actually was. And I think where it like blew my mind was back when like No Way Home was coming out and everyone was like, what numbers is it gonna make? How high is it gonna break Marvel numbers versus Star Wars
Yep.
that were always up there? And Jurassic World was one of the ones that's in the top like
Dude, that broke
five
everything.
movies ever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is it really that? Was it that big? And I remember watching it, but not realizing that comeback of that franchise essentially like
Yeah,
is
it was
that popular.
huge. It just though it went downhill from there because like
Yeah, that's the
everyone
thing.
went to go
That's
like
probably why I don't think
I
that.
don't think people like it was kind of like when Star Wars came back, even though Star Wars is a whole bigger beast, but it's
Yeah,
like I want to go see the new Jurassic Park movie. And then you either like the Jurassic World series or you kind of don't. Like they're fine. Like I like them because I'm a
yeah,
fan, but I think word of mouth was like, okay. And then like the last movie did not do anything
yeah.
near.
There was nowhere near.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was
So it'll be
interesting,
in
but
I think this one will do better because the OG cast is back.
yeah, because they're kind of tying everything back, which is true. So that just makes this line when we're talking about Funko the potential to be even bigger because of tying these other
Exactly.
old characters that maybe they haven't made in Funko yet. But yeah, that's definitely a cool one. I know Moon Knight got a little bit more extension on their line. We
Yeah.
got a Funko Shop exclusive pop and a T-shirt as well, which I believe are separate. But cool line. We've always said it. I feel like it's a little getting redundant. Like they're making too many Moon Knights just in different poses versus
And they're
maybe
really like,
extending it to other characters, I would say.
I agree, and they're really running with the glow in the dark, like the whole night of
Yeah.
it all. Like I would have been happy with like one.
Yeah, that's the only thing. And then first at the beginning, I know we were like, oh, this is so sick and so hype. And
Yeah.
now I'm like, I see
Okay.
too many of them. Now it's getting a little overplayed. Like I
Yeah,
get it. So like, yeah, as the show goes, I feel like they just keep dropping a different version that kind of ties us, I guess, to an episode. So I guess we'll get
I
two
agree.
more, if not
Though
more than
I
that.
do, it's funny though. I do think that is the best. We've talked about this in the past, but this is the best release of Funko Pops, in my opinion, for television shows. Like, I love how like you get a new one to get excited for after an episode drops instead of just like dropping them all in the beginning.
Yeah,
I mean, Marvel shows are the
that
only
is more
ones
exciting
that really
than what they did.
demand that. Yeah, but yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, because then even like with the big ones, you're not like expecting to see an outfit or see something because you've seen it in a pop, like,
Exactly.
and then you don't get turned, like you can actually watch the episode and then okay, cool, something comes out that kind of ties to it. So
Yes.
that's definitely cool. The last thing I wanted to bring up in the news, this was a pretty big one for us for sure. We are obviously big Funko NFT fans. And we rumored this, well, not even rumored it because we saw the official blog by Funko that this was going to be coming out. We kind of put our input into what we thought it would be. Is it going to be DC overall? Is it going to just be Batman? Are they going to, what are they going to do? Well, we finally got at least a glimpse, but the official announcement that
Yep.
DC Funko NFTs will be dropping and they are coming out May 5th. So we still got about 2 weeks, which is
It's a
good because that
Thursday
means
too.
that, yeah, which is a Thursday, which means this week we'll probably maybe get a little bit more detail on it, I would assume. Maybe some glam shops of the actual boxes of the redeemables, because all we got was like a kind of a quick video
Yep.
with what, two, four, five
Five.
different, yeah, five different cards. They look like they were all legendary. We didn't
Yep.
see a
Missing
grail,
the
I
grail.
believe.
Yep.
We're not like, because we're not getting the Freddy version yet, so we're still kind of waiting. Like, is there going to be one? Is there not? What's the deal? But we got well, it's not even Superman. It's named
I'm trying to
the
remember what it was. It's like a version of
extremer
him
of
from
yes,
like a different
something.
Earth.
Yeah, so it's like
Um,
a different version of we do got a Batman, a Flash.
I think the Batman
Um,
is Rebirth. I like tried to zoom in. There's
yes,
like
I
a
think
yeah.
that, and I think that that's what it looks like. It's either that one. Is that the one that he's kind of like they make a pop of that, right?
I don't know if they do.
Because the one I'm trying to think of who he looked like. Was he doing the move? It looked like a version of a pop that they made. But yeah, it was very quick. It's a small video. You can't really read exactly what they are. We don't have like a glam shot of the actual boxes. So like it's hard to tell exactly, but we just know like the main character, which is obviously a Superman version. We got a Batman version, we got a Flash, we got a Green
Green
Lantern,
Lantern and a
right?
Catwoman.
And a Catwoman, yeah, which I thought was kind of random.
Yeah, and
I'm
I'm trying
surprised
to
it's not
think.
Wonder Woman over Catwoman, honestly. If that's
Yeah,
a redeemable version, I would
there's
think it would have
definitely.
been
I'm
Wonder
trying to think
Woman.
what the Grail's gonna be. Oh, I wonder if that's a Wonder Woman. But it's definitely like I was
Yeah,
trying to think like where's that Catwoman from? I do think it's from the Rebirth line of
that as well.
stories. I'm wondering if that's what every single one of these is gonna be from.
That's a weird like one to pick.
Yeah,
Like
I
we talked
agree.
about this and we kind of went back and forth. We kind of agreed it probably wouldn't be the traditional animated series.
Yep.
We also said that it would not be movies. Like I know we kind of brought that up, but I was like, I don't think they're gonna go live action. They'll definitely probably go more comic, like you said, just the
Yep.
comic style. And it is that, but with DC specifically, there are so many storylines and so many different versions of these characters. So it's it's just titled DC, so we still need more information, but like let us know what you guys think. Maybe you guys have a little more insight or if you picked up a
Yeah.
little bit better than we did. But yeah, if they're all tied to that one type of line, then I guess it kind of makes sense. But it's just like I think it's a little bit of a miss with that, but I think it's still going to be popular,
It's so
man. I mean,
awesome.
it's still DC, it's still Batman in general, it's still these popular DC characters. I know the buzz already was kind of exciting for people when they saw that this was already officially now being shown, but
Yeah.
I don't know. What's your thoughts overall? I mean, it's gonna be wild, I
I
think.
mean, it's gonna be wild. I think this one's gonna be really hard to get. I'm hearing rumors that like they're trying to come up with a way for you can only get them on one device, based off of your IP
No,
address or
okay.
something, which I'm all about.
We
Like,
talked about that, yeah.
I want to get as many as I can to like in a reasonable way. I'm not like one of the crazies. I want to get what I can get and at a reasonable amount and just enjoy them. But I think this line, I mean, like we said, we knew it was coming. And I'm quite frankly, I'm happy it seems like they're like the Batman, if it is a rebirth one and they never made a mold that way, like they had to think of something. And like we said, what are they going to make? They've made almost everything. So I'm at least happy they're special. The Flash like pop though, like to me in the glam shot, it looks like all the Flash pop. So I'm
Yeah,
assuming when we
which
get to
most of
see
the time they
more,
do.
but I'm super excited for this one. I do think it's going to be hard to get. I think this is
Yeah,
another level of people coming into DC is by no means Marvel, but I think you're going to get a lot of people are like, okay, I'm going to get Funko NFTs now.
yeah.
It's just especially if you're
Yeah, I
like a
think
Batman
honestly, a
collector.
card, I mean, although it's a digital, but like a digital version, card, whatever you want to say, I feel like to me ties more to a comic,
Yep,
which we've said in the past, DC to us is more of that comic collector versus Marvel, where obviously they make Marvel comics, but I feel like nowadays Marvel is more tied to MCU and movies.
100%.
That DC is still kind of stemming from the hardcore comics and graphic novels and that kind of stuff. So like I could see those people more easily getting into Funko NFTs, not necessarily Funko Pops, easier that way. So yes, that's a whole nother. And then you still got the Funko community themselves. You still got the ones that are DC fans. You still got the ones that just want NFTs. You're still gonna have the people that just want to get it because it's gonna be popular and it's gonna sell and it's gonna make money. So like you're still gonna have all of that in one bucket. And unfortunately for us as like true collectors of these things, like it's gonna be tough to get. But I'm still just kind of like wondering how that like I mean, we didn't see a Joker, and that's a pretty popular thing. So obviously I'm sure we're gonna get a card of him or whatever. But I think the way they announced this was a little interesting. It was very different. We usually just get that picture from Drop that shows you the pack and saying that this is coming out. And then we get the pictures of
Yep.
the
And
redeemable
they
actual
normally, yeah.
pops. And now we didn't. Now we got a video and it's of the cards, but not of what they're going to look like as a pop with
And
no
it's the
grail.
first time the website, like when you go to it, it wasn't updated for you to see the page where you can see some of the cards. They
Yeah.
always
So
show the
it's not up
redeemable.
there
It's not, it
still.
says coming soon still. And also, weirdly enough,
That's interesting.
it's always, they've been on Tuesdays, the drops. This one's on Thursday. Um,
Yeah.
but I'm also though wondering now
It's
you're saying
different.
like
It's a
there's no
different drop. I wonder
Joker.
what's going on.
I wonder if this will only be heroes and then we'll get a DC villains line or something.
Oh, that I see that makes sense then. Because
Which
yes, it's
that's how
true.
you
They're all heroes.
can milk the DC line,
Yeah, you duplicate
and which
DC.
I'm totally fine with. There's plenty of villains to do that.
Absolutely.
Um because it was the characters they picked, if that is all the redeemables. I'm really curious who the grail is. Like I'm just
Yeah. I mean, like you said, is it Wonder Woman?
yeah.
But like, because I'm surprised Wonder Woman wasn't on there over Catwoman, definitely. Like, just being honest, like,
Yeah, the Catwoman's right now.
especially because you're if you're going with five, you're going with essentially different characters that yes are tied together with Justice League and are tied with like the comic, but they're individually different. Catwoman is tied to Batman. There's no reason why she's essentially a side character of one of the other ones. Like Green Lantern is his own thing essentially. Flash, Superman, and Batman. How's Catwoman like
I
the
agree. And
next
then
one you
technically
think of?
after I just said that, I mean sometimes in the run she's a villain, she's an
Yeah, yeah, but
anti-hero, but like
yeah,
I don't think they would have included her. So we probably are going to get
no,
some
but like
villains.
I think you see Wonder Woman and you see Aquaman. You see one of those two before you see Catwoman, in
Yeah.
my opinion, as far as like a big five. Now, could either of those be the Grail? Yeah. Would it be a little random? Yeah, probably. You would think it would be Superman or Batman, but
Yeah.
I guess we'll see. Because like again, this is a different type of announcement, the way they announced it. We're still waiting for more news on it. And I wonder if they are trying to work with the site or figure things out. And that's why it got pushed back to a
Yeah.
Thursday release versus a Tuesday. or they want to see how that goes. Like, is that better for us? Was Tuesday very popular for people, and that's why the last one
Yeah.
went nuts? But I don't know. I guess we'll see. But either way, it's a huge drop. It's an exciting one for us. And
Other quick NFT thing though, too, for all you
oh
viewers
yeah,
and
yes, yes,
listeners.
yes.
So something that Funko just started, which I think is brilliant, is they now do every month they're going to do bonus NFTs. They're going to go into your account, they're going to look at your collection, and they're randomly. I think this time there was 5 or 4 different ones. If you have a card in it, they don't tell you which they are, so you can't like go buy them. They drop you a special Max Token Head or Freddy Funko NFT. I was lucky enough to get one in this past drop. And like I said, they're going to do it every month. But I like it because it's now giving, there's still a ton of people in the community who are like, once the redeemables come and go, like, I don't want these NFTs anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is trying to get people to learn a little bit more about the value in the long term game of NFTs and not just only care about the physicals, which I am one of those people. I love the redeemables, but I'm not like getting rid of my other NFTs. Like other people are just like, I don't need these anymore. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Because their price does dip a lot. But I just think this is a really cool thing that they're going to continue. They said they're going to do it every month.
Yeah. Which I think that's actually pretty cool. And it goes into your drop account.
Yeah, it goes right into your drop account. And like I said, I just like I saw online that it was happening and I just checked and I happened to have one on Discord, or like you can find on Twitter. People are talking, they think they have kind of found out like which ones that they were. I just happen to have, I think mine was an uncommon from the retro line. So it's not even like you need to have like these ridiculous ones. I think there was ones from the big boy line, the turtles line, and I'm trying to think what the, can't remember the other one off the top of my head right now, but they span through a bunch of different ones as well, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. That they're kind of going back and still giving you a chance to get a couple of these random
Yeah,
ones. But that's good, just like you said, just for collecting and you kind of getting back into like the whole NFT part of it, not just the redeemable
exactly.
aspect of it, and things like that. Keep it valuable in that sense. But yeah, so that was definitely the news. It was pretty packed with a lot of great stuff that was very excited, very exciting for both of us. Can't wait to see what Funko has in store for the next week. Make sure to let us know some of your favorites down below. Comment if you're watching here on YouTube. If you're listening on the podcast avenues, feel free to chime in over on YouTube, or hit us up on Instagram as well. But that's going to be it for the news portion of our show.